That just makes me really happy.
Sexy new intro. Nice.
Well done, Tom. That looked bloody awesome, mate.
It's a little bit recycled, but it's one of those ones where I spent so long making it originally that I didn't want it to die.
We brought it back to life.
Yeah,
and it fits perfectly, mate. It's an awesome intro. How are we doing on another Thursday night? The weather's changed. I'm freezing now.
Yeah, me too, mate. It's like Antarctic in here.
I'm just happy we're all together, boys.
This is like the first time in about what? Hold on, so it's a week before I went on. I think it's the first time in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
it feels good to be back.
It does. It feels nice to be back. We've got a new intro.
Yeah.
Like what a Thursday! I'm so happy. Can you tell?
What a Thursday! We've got people in the chat already. We've got Mr. David Zamross, welcome, sir. Evening, Killers. We've got Hydra Collectibles. Evening, Luke. Hi, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. Congratulations on your new Go Collect write-up panel. Well done on that, mate. We've got Leon Russell. Evening, Killers. We've got Perpetual here. We girl. Yeah. Leon Rossi. Woo, funky. Getting the Hydra Collectibles, loving it. What an intro. Connie Dalton, hi.
What's up, Connie?
Rotor Football, and it's good to see all three of you. It's good to see all of you in the chat. It's good to see these two hunky men alongside me as well. So let's get straight into it. Andy, I've got to see how much you've picked up this week because we didn't have any last week.
Literally, like, we got any pickups? No.
I was like,
what have you got for us? Mate?
I'm gonna start with the best thing that
he's going to start with. I'm going to start with the best. I haven't got it.
Yeah, I have these bad boys. So these are 3D printed slab stands, sort of top loader stands that David, aka Zan, in the chat 3D printed, and I think you got some as well.
Yes.
So I can honestly say they do the job absolutely brilliantly. That behind me is in one of the other stands.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of you guys are interested, drop David a message on his Instagram. I'll stick his Instagram link in the doobly-doo, and he'll be able to sort you with some 3D printed slab stands. So that was my first pickup. My next one was a £5 pickup from Gumtree, of all things. So this is Abby Chase from Danger Girl. And obviously J. Scott Campbell is well known for designing this character. The only thing is that it didn't come with her gun. So my good friend below me, Mr.
Sorry, my good friend blows me.
That's our other channel. Is going to 3D print a gun for Miss Chase, so I'm very much looking forward.
I can design one. You might have to get someone else to 3D print it.
David Zan. Oh, sort me out, I'm sure. So yeah, those were the first couple of things. So back to good old comics. I picked up Champions issue number 1. This is the Collector Corps edition.
What a cover.
So do you know those like mystery boxes that you get? It's got like t-shirts and stuff. So apparently they did one with this cover in it, and I'll try to pick up as many of the Champions issue 1 covers that I can. So got that one. I picked up issue 1 to 6, the run of Groot here.
Have you been watching? Have you seen the shorts on Disney Channel? The Groot.
No, I haven't seen them yet. I've heard good things though.
My little boy was watching them when we was on holiday, and they are funny. They're
good. Yeah. Well, funnily enough, there's a couple of key books in here. So I think it's Groot number 4 is like the first cameo appearance of Baby Groot, and then I think number 6 is your first cover appearance. And also this cover is this is the variant cover by Declan Shalvey as well. and it's got literally
nice.
tons and tons of characters on it. So
I
picked
really
that
like
up.
those covers. Those kind
Yeah,
of
they're
they stack the characters up like that.
yeah, they're superb. I love them because there's
Was
always
it,
at least one character that pops. So
Was it Kingdom Come that Alex Ross did? They're in like stripes of light, and they kind of look like they're ascending. That's quite a cool cover.
Yeah, that's superb. Tokyo Ghost, issue number 1. Picked that up. I got a nice Jenny Frisson cover. Beauty.
Oh, I haven't heard that in ages. Say that. Wow. Is that? Wow. That looks like Wonder Woman.
Looks a bit like Gamora as well.
Yeah.
Like this is all before our Wonder Woman run.
Who's that by, Andy?
That is by Jeremy Han.
And who drew that?
This is Jenny Frisson.
There we go.
Ooh. Just one more time.
That gives me goosebumps. That does.
No, I'm not. Here, listen, I'm not spoiling you guys. Okay. I got some Scott. Does this work as well? Scotty Young. No, it doesn't have the same vibe, doesn't it?
You're there.
Yeah. So this was a VOT, VOGGT purchase. So VOT is the new app that allows you to do like auctions, and our good friend the Hobgoblin's Hideaway is doing some shows on that. So once I finish showing off these books, I'm going to drop the link to the Hobgoblin's Hideaway's next show, which is tomorrow at 8 p.m. So definitely go. If you've not registered, I definitely suggest you go and register and give it a go, because there's some bargains to be had on that app, whether it be for comics or pop Funkos or any other stuff like that. There seems to be a few bargains there. This was one of those said bargains. So this is the Peach Momoko Venom 1. I think this is like the 1 in, let's say 25, maybe one. Yeah, is this 1 in 100 or 25?
It's a lot higher than 1 in 25, mate.
Yeah. So I got this for 15 quid.
Nice.
On that app. I'm almost sure it's the 1 in 100. And then my favourite pickup over the last couple of weeks was the Scotty Young Superior Spider-Man issue number 32.
Have you got the other side?
No, I haven't got the other side.
I went through my collection yesterday. I think I've got 2 of the other side of those. So if I have, you can have it.
Let's chat. Yeah, definitely let's chat, because this I think this is quite sought after from a Scotty Young perspective. You know, the amount of books that he's done, the amount of covers. So yeah, there we go.
Controversy. Darren has said, "Poor man's Whatnot. They'll be doing unsolicited gambling before long, like Whatnot."
It's a poor man's Whatnot, I guess, that people in the UK can readily use.
But UK will be launching. Like, I'm sure we'll be launching Whatnot soon. Though. I mean, because I've downloaded a few apps. I've got that Vogt, whatever it's called, and Bits. Bits
is VOT. Bits is the same as VOT. So VOT actually purchased Bits.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
And now they've got like you can go on the website. You don't necessarily just need to use it on your phone and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'd say VOT have a long way to go before they're anywhere close to what's Whatnot, or what do you call it?
Yes, sir. You have a question.
Yeah. So for people who like live under a rock / have no time to do sod all in their lives, could you? I don't suppose you could explain what it is, because I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Doing bits.
Yeah. Bits.
I mean, when you said get on Bits, I was like, that just sounds rude.
Yeah, so it's an auction website, a live auction website, where the likes of Tim will go on, just as he would do his claim sales on Instagram, but it's on the VOT app, and you have to register on the VOT app to become a buyer. So you have to put your credit card details, your debit card details, and your address in, and whenever you bid on something, it's instant and it's live. So if you win the bid, the money automatically comes off your card of choice straight away.
Gotcha.
And then the likes of Tim would, how many purchases you've made would then get them posted out to you. But yeah, it's I like it. It's quite good. I think it's got a long way to go before it's established, but I think before it gets established, Whatnot will just come in and buy it more than likely.
Awesome.
That was my pickups.
So have you sold anything on there, or are you just buying off it?
I'm going to register to sell some stuff, but I don't think I'm ready to jump in and sell. They're doing lots of incentives at the minute for sellers to sell on the app. But I've just ordered up a bunch of like boxes to send comics in, like mailing boxes. So as soon as those arrive, I'll have no excuse not to sell on it. So watch this space. But I'll either do that, or as we were talking about, Tom, we will do some sort of YouTube claim sale, because I know that you've got a lot of stuff that you're looking to shift.
I've got a lot of stuff to shift.
Yeah.
I literally have like 3/4 of my collection.
There we go. So watch this space.
Look at that. That was a sexy little 11-minute pickup. Love that.
Thanks, mate.
Welcome.
Have you got anything, Tom?
Yeah, I do. I have absolutely sod all.
Great stuff. Well, I literally have the CG season comics that are behind me. I got them from David and Ross. Again, they are pretty decent. Let me just show you one. I don't know. I've got the white versions, Andy. Nice little
there we go.
raw comic holder. And then I've got the CGC holders as well. And David will be glad to know that this week I'm displaying them correctly. Instead of just using one last week, I kind of realised that I tried to blag it and say, yeah, I knew what I was doing. I was just trying to get more displays out of them, but I was doing it wrong. I was balancing on them one instead of using both of them as a stand. So yes, they are great though. Yeah. Do you know what? They would be good if we could get some Killer Comics logoed ones. They'd be pretty good, wouldn't they?
Watch this space.
Just brainstorming. So, yes, Connie, if you're still here, Tom can design it, David can print it, and then the Killer Comics Empire can just keep growing and growing and growing.
The Empire.
The Empire. So Connie, and for those of you with delicate ears, we've got an intro coming up. So if you want to cover your ears or put us on mute, or just go la 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 until it's over. And there we go. And why is it not loading? There we go. So this is. Are you boys ready? Have you done your press ups? Done your workouts? Have you done your vocal coaching? Because this is the business end of the show, the business beginning of the show. Killer covers, September 21st. So these are the covers that we pick for your.
What's a press up?
It's
Don't worry about it.
It's when you lay on the floor and you're trapped in a shell, and you have to flip over and try and get back up. We'll show you at Thought Bubble.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is the business beginning of the show. This is the killer covers for September 21st, which was obviously yesterday. New comic book day, week number 38. We pick 3 fantastic covers. You choose, and no one wins anything, but it's just a nice little addition to the show. Up first, Mr. Perpetua himself.
Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, number 2. This is the 1 in 25 Francesco Mattina cover. And I think this is one of the best Francesco Mattina covers that he's done, personally. It's also one of my favourite characters. I can't get enough of Lobo. And I think he's absolutely nailed this cover. Unfortunately, it's a 1 in 25, and I don't know how many people are buying 25 issues of War of the Undead Gods number 2. But nevertheless, I will seek it out whenever it's cheap as chips. But yeah, I think I showed it to you guys in the private chat, and said that this would be one that would absolutely pop whenever if it was on display in a CGC and stuff like that. So yeah, I love the colours. I think it's hard to get Lobo right and to give him that look. Normally it's quite a sort of, Lobo is sometimes like a caricature of himself, but I think he's absolutely nailed this one. And it's hard just to get that right tone of blue, and he's done this. There's no many things wrong with this. It absolutely pops, and the eyes are fantastic, and he's looking at you to vote for Deceased War of the Undead Gods number 2.
He's looking at you to vote.
I really like it, but I've got two gripes with it. One is that he kind of looks more like Beast from X-Men.
Agreed. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Then he does Lobo. And 2, what is dripping onto his tongue?
Well, he's obviously just had a blue ice cream. Yeah.
I don't. It's a great cover, it is, and I've got to agree with you. I think it is one of the best Francesco Mattina ones. But if I'll be honest, if you hadn't have told me that was Lobo, I would have thought that was Beast from X-Men.
You could not tell that was Lobo from
Other
the
than
back.
it, obviously, other than it being a DC comic, it clearly wasn't going to be Beast, but I couldn't tell that was Lobo. I honestly, and like hands up now, live on the show, I only found out that was Lobo when you just said it.
I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed, Charlie.
But it's a great cover. It is a great cover. And if it was foil, and that's obviously going to be, yes, cardstock, so that's going to be good quality. It is a great cover.
Which part of it would be foil, though?
Well, the
drippy stuff.
Awesome gooiness that's dripping onto his tongue.
It basically looks like he's murdered Blue Smarty. You know, like from the ad, or the Blue M&M from the adverts.
He's murdered Papa Smurf.
Yeah, exactly. Murdered Smurf. Was that or something else was happened with the Smurf?
Smurfette. Let's not get into that.
Absolutely.
He had a fun time with Smurfette.
Yeah, or one of the other Smurf.
Moving swiftly on. So yeah, this is Deceased War of the Undead Gods.
I'm so glad I picked this cover, guys.
It's got so much airtime. Look how much we've been talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's a talking point, isn't it?
I thought it was Beastman.
Yeah,
and even
nice.
Darren said looks a bit like the dude from Spawn.
Got the clown. It's a good shout.
Then Tom and Zan got really sexy to start talking about filaments. And then what else? And then he's like, Tom, yes, mate, I've got a filament. I haven't tried that yet. I thought it was Beastman. There we go. And yes, so moving on. Next up, we've got. Oh, look, I've gone for a Harley Quinn 30th anniversary special. I've gone for the Adam Hughes variant. This for me is like my wet dream. Not gonna lie. This is Harley Quinn. Spectacular. This is fantastic. This is all Harley Quinns rolled into one. Adam Hughes has absolutely smashed this out of the park. Look at this. Look, this must what goes in Harley Quinn's head. This is all her different personalities. This is just awesome. I think there's about 15 to 20 variant covers out, and there was no way I was going to pick anything other than a Harley Quinn cover. And out of all of them that's coming out, I think this one just epitomizes Harley Quinn more than anything, because it just shows all her different characters, all her different personalities popping out of the old Harley Quinn head. Love it.
I quite like this one, to be fair. I like the fact that when your ears are bunged up and you blow your nose. I like the fact that she's doing that pose at the bottom to pop her ears, but it's like exploded her head. I also like the fact that he's gone with the old classic, Harley Quinn outfit. I think it's really quite cool, but it is a bit busy. There's a lot going on, if you get my drift. But it is cool.
I really like Adam Hughes' signature. I know it sounds really strange, but it's like
AH.
You know what I mean? AH. I just think it's simple and it's impactful. But Andy,
Charlie,
what do you think, sir?
So I think the reason Harley Quinn's holding her nose is because even she knows that this cover stinks.
Oh, shots fired! Wow. Someone's just getting their P45 at the end of the show.
To be fair, we did just say his cover looks like someone had a fun time with Smurfette, so I'm happy to take that.
Well, at least I knew it was Lobo.
Yeah, well, I didn't. All right, whatever. Moving on. There we go. Another Art Germ cover.
Another Art Germ cover. So I've gone for the Harley Quinn 30th anniversary special, the Stanley Art Germ variant from DC. This is on a cardstock as well, which is quite nice. I went for this one because I like the fact that it is basically the animated version of Harley Quinn, which is my perfectly favorite of her. Yeah. And I like that he's introduced Poison Ivy in there as well. And he's kind of used the same characters off the first appearance of Harley. So he's obviously got Batgirl as well in there. So he's kind of taking on that original cover. I think it's amazing. It's my favorite by 100% this week. I could have gone for the J. Scott Campbell one because he's my favorite artist, but this caught my eye. And I love that the Batman logo's in there too from the original series on the gun. I think that's a really nice touch.
And that's taken from when the Joker used it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I just think it's really clever.
Yeah,
My favourite.
no, I honestly think it's a great cover, and then obviously they've got Batgirl tied up in the logo, and they've used the old DC logo as well in the top left-hand corner. So
Very classic.
yeah, it is a great. I think if I'm honest, it's between you and Andy this week. So
Yeah, but at least you know who my characters are.
yeah,
my only concern with this cover is if you look at Harley Quinn's hands, they're very small, and what's happening with her left hand?
Yeah,
She's kind of like, it's
How'd you go, Tom?
perspective, Andy.
Yeah. Is that what it is? Perspective, okay. Sorry.
It's perspective, yeah.
But she only has two fingers.
That's because she's clacking it around her waist, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she's kind of like finger licking good. But yeah, there is a foil. To be fair, there is a few foil variants of the normal standard ones that are coming out as well. So yeah, the foil variant of that as well. I think that's like going to go for silly money. I think I've bought about 7 of them, so I'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I'll take my strong hand. That's it.
Take my strong hand.
Take my strong hand. So yes, we've got mine. We've got Beast, Lobo, Smurfette special. And then we've got the Take My Strong Hand, Finger Licking Good, Perspective, Harley Quinn, Flashback to Batman, Adventures number 12. Place your
Hold on,
votes.
you didn't insult the other one. You insulted mine and Andy's. Go back.
Well, no, I didn't even give mine airtime. Like, I'm looking at it. Yeah, I get it. It is very busy, but you've got like what could be better? You've got the original Harley Quinn in rubber down below, and then you've got loads of Harleys popping outside. This is like a Harley Quinn fan's wet dream. Take it away. Go for it. There we go. So the vote is live anyway. Let's vote for who you want to win. And already in 67% of the vote is Andy. I've got 17%, and Tom has 17% as well. So that will roll. That will roll all through the night. And until then, let's get down to business. There we go. Right, so we've got week number 37 review. This is the comics from last week. We had the 4 comics up on the community tab on YouTube for you lovely people to place the votes, and it was pretty open and shut case, to be fair. Do a Powerbomb, issue number 4, and Mythos 10,000 Black Feathers, both from Image. Tom, your pick was Do a Powerbomb. Andy, your pick was 1,000 Black Feathers. Up first, we have Do a Powerbomb.
Do a Powerbomb.
Do a Powerbomb.
By Daniel Warren Johnson. What a legend, doing both the artwork and the story on this.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that cover B though by Ryan Lee. I'd not seen that before till you just showed it. I actually hadn't seen that. I love that Cuba Sun at the bottom looks like his head's being squashed, like completely crushed. That's amazing. I love that.
So obviously this is Do a Powerbomb issue number 4, written by Daniel Warren Johnson, and the art is by Daniel Warren Johnson. The colours are by Mike Spicer. This came out September 14th, which was last week. So, Tom, this was your pick. What did you think about it, mate?
Well, Daniel Warren Johnson has this knack for kind of rough edges characters, and I think this is such a magical comic that like introduces so many characters you've had over 4 issues. We've been introduced to lots of different characters from lots of different worlds, and it's been quite interesting considering the fact that your main character Lana and Cuba Sun are your 2 main characters, but yet you're kind of getting involved in all the other characters' stories. I think that's really quite clever the way he's done that. But I like this. I mean, this main story this time around was about these other 2 characters. I can't remember the name of the one guy, but the other one's called Maximilian, the big dude with the helmet. He's called Maximilian. And it kind of follows their story and how they want to take on Necron. So their reasoning for doing the tournament, it follows their story of why they're doing the tournament. So they can basically stop Necron, if you like. So you get to see their kind of why they're doing it. And then there's this really cool bit, and I don't know if anyone else had this experience when they read it, but there's a bit about like a training montage, and I literally played the Rocky 4 training montage in my head as I was reading it, and I was like, how clever is Daniel Warren Johnson, knowing that most people that will be reading this book probably have seen Rocky or have probably seen some kind of training montage, either watching WWE or watching WCW, that like have kind of read this book and gone, oh my God, it's just playing in their head. And I thought that was really clever. And then you get this kind of, they show you that, and then they go back to Lana and Cuba's son, and they're talking about how they need to team up. And I like that then they did another montage. Again, it played in my head. I was like, this is incredible. I just thought it was really, really good. Overall, I thought the book was brilliant. I just think Johnson just goes from strength to strength with his writing. And I like that the kind of the stakes of the whole thing, like kind of keeps escalating about, you know, halfway through you get introduced to these Japanese characters. And then you find out that one's her uncle, which I thought was really cool. And then the stakes get higher about the fact that he's risking his life as well to save her mom. And I thought it was really cool. And the bonds they get between them, her and Cuba's son, halfway through the book, was excellent. And then how it ended, like that final panel that you've got on the right-hand side, just completely blew my mind. But it's just, I think it's a beautiful book. It's fun. It's brutal. I love it. I mean, it's going to be my star pick at the end of the year. I mean, I can't knock it. It's just insane. I love it.
Andy?
I missed issue number 3 when I came to read issue. I started issue number 4.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
This doesn't seem right. There's something I'm missing here. So I had the joy of reading issue number 3 and 4 back to back. And yeah, I totally agree with what Tom was saying with regards to the fun aspect of this. That issue number 4 in particular was almost kind of a like insane. It kind of went into that realm of like proper wrestling where it's like, you know, it's like the drama that you've got a wrestling in a wrestling match, especially a big wrestling match. You know, you've always got your start, your middle, and your end, and this definitely was the part of the story by Darren Warren Johnson that is the middle part of it. So it's like very kind of a fantastical, and you know, it had all the sort of power moves that we would recognize as being wrestling fans. I thought what made this particular issue really, really cool was just like the colors and the letters that were popping off the page. And I think we've got at least a couple of examples there where you know, you've got her flying from the top rope, and you've got the O of the crowds, and then, you know, the boom as she hits her opponent. I really liked that. I liked the montage that Tom had sort of picked up the train, because I did the exact same thing. So if that's what he was going for, then he absolutely nailed it 100%. I thought that it seems to be the last page of every single issue of this is the page that kind of stops you in its tracks and wants you to then go and buy the next one. For me, it was a little less for issue 4. It was kind of like, all right, okay, so we're moving on to a no holds barred type wrestling situation. Yes. And that will be absolutely even like, that would be bonkers the next issue, and that's why people will buy it. But I'll be interested to see if it's less about that and it's more about the story of loss and finding her mum again, because that seemed to get a little bit lost in this issue. It was more about the action, and it was like fan service for wrestling fans. Whereas I think next issue, the fans will expect it to be fan service, but it'll probably just be drawn back into that story about loss, I would say.
I think so, because I think this the way they laid up for this issue was that it was going to be a bit more of a backstory issue. So I think it's clever that he's done that. I think you put a good point there, mate. Yeah.
Keeps you on your toes, this one, definitely.
Do you know what? I'm a massive wrestling fan, so I've loved this from the start. And this was the comic I first went to last week. It was like, yes, I'm reading it. So I read it last week when it came out, and I've read it this week. It's just, I know, like, you don't have to be a wrestling fan to love this comic, but it makes it even sweeter when you are a wrestling fan and you see him pull off, like, I don't know, like the top rope elbows and like the leg drops and the torpe suicidios from like the middle rope and stuff like that. It just like, it proper just gets you going. And again, I was looking at another montage, and I'm like, just picture Rocky Balboa running up the steps and doing like the shadow boxing and stuff. You can't help but look at that and think of that. And then obviously where he's pulling up the tire, up the mountain hills in the snow and stuff in Rocky IV. It's great. And then at the end, where all hell breaks loose, and he's like, right, yeah, they want to see how we can fight. Let's fight. And you've got like the barbed wire steel chair, you've got the kendo sticks, you've got the ladder, you've got the lighting strips, you've got the baseball bat. Like, I'm so looking forward to the next issue. I just hope it doesn't lose its momentum of it being like such an emotional comic journey, and it just goes all hell for leather.
That final panel, it's the fact that it's got so many, like, if you're a wrestling fan, it's got so many nostalgic twigs. Like the baseball bat. I mean, you've got Cactus Jack, the kendo sticks, Sandman, the lighting strips. I mean, it's amazing. The only thing they're missing is he could have had a table, like, or she could have been behind him with a table. That would have been amazing.
Yeah. This is actually how Charlie walked into Thought Bubble.
Yeah.
That is exactly how I walked into Thought Bubble. That was it. I was all for hell for leather, ready for this. But
comic community, I'm ready for you.
That was it. But I just love the fact that Cobra-san and what's her name, the daughter Lorna, they're building this amazing relationship that obviously we as readers know that that's her dad, and she doesn't seem to have that connection with her dad. So I reckon there's going to be something amazing that comes out of this. I think so far, there's 7 or 8 issues, and I'm thinking that I think you're going to see something special at the end. Like they're going to have this amazing relationship built off the back of this, or it could flip on his head and she's like, "I can't believe you've been lying to me all these years." And
so, I have a theory of how I think it's going to end. So I think he's going to die, and she's going to have to make the choice between her mom and her dad. And the fact that she didn't have a relationship with her dad, but she now does, she'll have to choose between her dad and her mom to bring them back.
Oh, that's a.
Because like she's lived without her mom for so long, and hated her dad for it, and now she's got this amazing relationship with her dad. It's like, do I keep this going or do I bring my mum back? Oh!
But then they throw another curveball in with her uncle, and what happens to her uncle? It's like, wow, this family can't catch a break, and it's a great comic. Like, I love Daniel Warren Johnson. I think his stuff is amazing. I've started reading Wonder Woman: Dead Earth off the back of this again.
Oh yeah, great.
And I've got to take my hat off to him, because the amount of work and effort that one goes into writing a comic, and two, also doing the art as well. Like, look how intricate this is. Like, this is amazing. Obviously, massive shout out to Mike Spicer as well for doing the colours, but this has got to take some serious amount of time. I mean, we know firsthand how long it took Jock to do Dark Knight. Do you know what I mean? So, like, and this is amazing. There's so much going on in it. So yeah, it's definitely one for, at the moment, as Phil said, this is one of the best comic books on the shelf at the moment, I'd say.
100%. And I really think that Johnson's artwork really lends itself to his writing. I mean, I understand, obviously he knows what he's doing with his writing and his artwork and how to complement the two, but the grittiness of his artwork really lends itself to the
definitely adds to it.
Of what's going on, especially like that middle panel that you've chosen with he's done over the ropes and the smash of the elbow. The grittiness of his artwork really does make it. I mean, really shows what it is. It's almost like watching it, like rather than just reading it.
But yeah, no, definitely, this is 100% killer for me. I think this is great. This is one of my first go-to comics. Absolutely loving it. And you don't have to be a wrestling fan to love this, but it does kind of bring back nostalgia if you are a wrestling fan. So yeah.
My theory, if anybody is interested in it, is that see the evil guy who's like the commentator.
Yeah,
I think he will try and steal the show at the end, because all he wants is glory and to like win a wrestling tournament.
Yeah.
So I actually think he'll jump in at the end, and
like a Vince McMahon job.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'd say he's more like Tony Khan from AEW. Wants to steal the mic after the show goes off air.
I don't know who that is.
But yeah, I don't know that reference.
He's the AEW chairman.
Gotcha.
He's the owner. But yeah, so are we all in agreement that this is a fantastic comic?
We're all in agreement, I hope, at the end of the year that this is the comic of the year.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we, Thomas? Hey? So yes, great start to the show. There we go. Up next, it is Images 10,000 Black Feathers, issue number 1, written by Jeff Lemire, art by Andrea Sorrentino. And Andy, you lovely man, this was your choice.
It was my choice, but I'm actually going to revert to you, Charlie, to see what you thought of it first.
Right, first of all, so we've got 8 covers. We've got the main cover by Andrea Sorrentino. We've got cover B by Christian Ward, cover C by Martin Simmons, cover G, which is the 1 in 100 incentive Mike Del Mundo variant cover. We've got the 1 in 50 incentive by Andrea Sorrentino, which is the Croaking cover. We've got Rabbit Comics all the way over in America, the exclusive by Lloyd Bailey variant cover. We've got the Variant Society exclusive and cover E, which is the 1 in 25 Virgin incentive Andrea Sorrentino Virgin cover. This is where I'm starting with this. This, for me...
Before you start, Charlie, if you go back to your first page with the images, is Christian Ward and Martin Simmons, they're both at Thought Bubble, right?
Yes.
They are?
Yeah.
Sorry. I just wanted to ask that question before we moved on.
Yes. No, yes, they are. I've got to say, though, the cover G, the 1 in 100, is a freakishly amazing cover.
It's horrible, but when you've read the book, you understand why. You understand what it is. Like the feathers, I didn't quite get, but I do get that bit.
So, first of all, Leon Russell has said, I quite like this, but I couldn't get on with the artwork. It reminded me of those rotoscoped Richard Linklater films, Waking Life and A Scanner Darkly.
Oh, A Scanner Darkly is an awful movie.
It is indeed. I'm glad you picked this, Andy, because I don't... do you know what really put me off? And it's because I'm so narrow-minded. It was the length of the title. I was like, my God, the length of the title. I was like, well, I'm going to go into a comic book and go, have you got... with 10,000 billion trillion black feather crows, blah, 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 blah. This isn't a comic that I would have read because I looked at it and thought, wow, this is kind of like, what is it, Department of Truth-esque kind of looking into it and stuff. I read it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like this, for me, it grips you straight at the start. And what I kind of liked is that on the first page, it looked to be different artwork. So I was like, oh, this is quite picturesque, quite nice. This is the second or third page in the comic. And by then I was like, right, yeah, I'm hooked. Something seriously is going wrong here. We've got the 2 characters. Something's happening. It's a dark, gritty, intrusive comic. I want to know what's going on. I was so into this. I was freakishly in awe of this comic because I was like, I just wanted to know more. Every single page I turned over, I was like, I want to know more. I want to know more. I want to know more about the character development. I want to know more about the history of where she is and what's happened now. And I've got to say, I've added this to my pull list off the back of this, my ever-growing pull list. And I tell you what, this is Jeff Lemire. I think Jeff Lemire's onto a winner here, man. And I honestly really don't think this is going to be one of the comics where he writes and it gets to 4 or 5 issues and we're like, oh, for God's sake, I can't be bothered reading it. This is mystery, and I really want to see how this pans out. I was very excited to read this, so thank you very much for picking it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I don't know if it was the frame of mind that I was in when I was reading it. I don't know if it was coming off the back of something as sort of visually appealing and fantastical as the book that we just reviewed. It was one of those ones where I got to the end of it and I was just like, my brain couldn't compute what was going on. I think just because it kind of jumped back and forth so much. And I was hoping that tonight you guys can explain what actually was going on there. I'm fully aware that this is part of like the Bone Orchard Mythos run of comics, and there was like another run that happened before this one, which I haven't read. And apparently you don't need to read that and know anything to get into this. But I think that the synopsis of this pulled me in more than actually this first issue did. There was so many questions I had and I was so confused. It felt like a little bit like a Department of Truth book that I'd read. And I only lasted about 3 or 4 issues into that before I completely dropped it. I really liked the artwork. That's what kept me going. I thought that was the most interesting piece for me in this book. There's definitely a lot of mystery, but it's not good mystery. It's kind of I'm oblivious to what's going on. And after reading it, I would have to read it. I would read issue 2 to hope to fill in some of the complete and
Issue
utter
1.
questions that I have for issue number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that I don't know if that's enough for me to stay on the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just, as I say, I just didn't get it. I think I maybe need to give it another read once you guys have sold it to me. So, Tom, sell it to me.
Well, I agree with both of you in a way. I think this book literally gives you more questions than answers, which is good in a way, because you know, like you said, you have that mystery of what's going to happen, what's coming forward. But like you said, Andy, it's one of those things like I kind of read a comic to get some kind of answers, and there were no answers to anything apart from the fact that clearly Jackie, who's the protagonist, Trish's friend, is dead or missing, and they don't know where she is. So that's the only thing I got from it, and that she's obviously grieving from it or whatever. But what I really liked about this book is that Sorrentino's adaptation to going from gritty to idyllic, clear and cleaner artwork. I just thought that was really clever, that every time she had this inner monologue bit where she then started thinking about the past, that it turned into this clean, very not gritty at all artwork, very colorful. And you kind of look at her past, it's all idyllic and she's loving it and she's got great, her and her friend are having this amazing time. And then it goes back to this grittiness in the current state where she's like, this Jackie's obviously missing or not around or died. And this Trish is dealing with that. And she's written a book. But I'm guessing because they've got this common bond over this book, I'm guessing that this blood oath that they make to write this book, one of them breaks it, possibly Trish, that then causes this knock-on effect of what's going to happen that we're going to find out about what the feathers must have something to do with it. But I think overall the book has brilliant reveals of like in paneling, like revealing the big bad boss at the end or whatever it is quite good. It's gritty, it's gorgeous with like the artwork I thought was gorgeous, really aesthetically pleasing. I liked that it gave you a bit of mystery, but I'm with you, Andy, and a little bit like I'm on the fence. I like the idea of it and I kind of want to see where it goes. I love the flashbacks. I like the artwork, but those are the only things that kept me going because the story didn't give me anything. I was like, so what's happening? Still what's happening?
It was too much hard work.
Yeah.
Like when a comic book becomes hard work, then I'm just like, it'd be very hard for me to read issue number 2 after this. I'm kind of hoping one of you guys do pick it just to force me into reading it because it definitely wouldn't be one that I would pick up and choose to. It felt like Jeff Lemire was flexing his writing muscles in this one and kind of a showing off almost. And it became almost too mysterious. Like he was playing with the reader. It's like, I'm not going to give anything away in this issue and I'm going to see if people come back and buy issue number 2. And I think the art. I think you could take away all the words in this book and just use it as a visual comic. Because I think that would have sold it better to me than the actual writing in it because it's just a little bit too kind of up its own arse a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's why I was sucked in. Because if you look at the stuff like May's book and Family Tree that Jeff done beforehand, he kind of gives elements away and you're kind of, I can see this panel now, I can see this panel. With this, there's nothing given away. Like, obviously, something ties back to Crows. Maybe it's the death of Jackie that's happened with the Crows. Maybe it's the blood bond that they've done and stuff like that. But there's nothing given away in this comic at all. Like, nothing alludes to the fact that Jackie was killed in horrific death. Nothing alludes to the fact that it's to do with the book that Trish has written. I think that's honestly what drew me in is the fact that I know Ethel about what's going on.
I reckon this might be a great book that once it comes out, like I don't know how many issues this is, 5 or 6 or something like that.
Probably,
whenever it comes out as like a graphic novel or hardback or something like that, where you can sit down and take it all in, and then it all will make sense. But yeah, visually it was stunning. It looked great. It almost looked like AI art. Especially that left-hand side page. Yeah, looked as if it wasn't real, which is testament to Sorrentino's, artwork. So,
yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Andy. I think if you took all the writing out of it, it would tell a much more compelling story because you would fill in the blanks yourself.
Exactly, 100%. And maybe that is what he's looking to do, but it was just so contrived.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm going to say something quite controversial now. But do we think Jeff Lemire slightly lost it because we've done a couple of his books on the show? I mean, we did May's book. We did this. We've done this one. There's another one. What was the other one we did? It was quite recently.
Oh, the Primordial.
Yeah. And like, they just didn't quite hit the mark.
Well, I didn't finish either of those ones, so I guess that answers the question here.
Exactly.
And like, I'm struggling to even get into issue 2 in this one.
Did Jeff Lemire do Little Monsters? He didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and that was good. That was good. But again, that kind of didn't go anywhere eventually.
Yeah.
Although we read every single issue, it didn't really go anywhere at the end. Like, it didn't give me the sense, I've got to read the next one.
We were disappointed at the end of that one because we discovered there was an issue 7.
Yeah.
We just wanted it 6 issues contained, but now it's getting into this whole other realm. So,
I mean, I think the overarching thing for this is that we're interested in it. So what? But is it gonna go anywhere? I'm literally interested in this because I know all about it and I want to find out what happens.
I guarantee issue number 2 will come out and everybody will look back to this episode and go, look at the difference in tone and with Andy, because I'm sure that issue number 2 has to give us something that we can go back to issue 1 and enjoy it more than what I did.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We will see. So there we go. That's the comic reviews for this week. Into another. Oh, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to it because we didn't have it last week, but we do this week.
I might change it to the Venga bus is coming and then change the car.
Another, just before we get into it, Martin has said Black Feathers represents wisdom and knowledge, but also divinity and protection. Thank God for Google. Planning to read this one over the weekend. Thanks, Martin.
Yeah, nice one.
Basically, a better review than we just gave, so nice one for that, mate. Anyway, last week, after a double whammy of a digital show that started at 8 o'clock and then Tom saving a cat up a tree, jumping straight in at 9 o'clock. Didn't have time for this, but this week we have the Killer Comic Show Road to Thought Bubble issue number 2. Up first, it's the panel that shows everything. So again, we had David Zan was asking where Thought Bubble is, how much is Thought Bubble. So Thought Bubble is a comic convention that happens in Harrogate Convention Centre on Saturday the 12th of November at 10 a.m. and finishes on Sunday the 13th November at 5 p.m. The weekend tickets are £29, £18 for a Saturday ticket and £18 for a Sunday ticket if you scan the barcode. Andy, where does it take you to?
Takes you to go and buy a ticket, which if you have seen the recent announcements for who is going to be guesting at this year's Thought Bubble, I think everybody was kind of like surprised that it had taken like so long for these announcements to be made, but it's understandable. You know, you want to lock them in, and I think there was a few people that were dubious about, I don't know if I'm going to go. But as soon as those announcements get made, everybody was just like, right, this is something I need to go to. So it's the best comic convention, certainly within the UK and Ireland, in my humble opinion. And if you haven't been, I would definitely suggest that you go and check out the website, which I think is thoughtbubblefestival.com or something like that. So, but anyway, hit that QR code and it'll take you straight to go and buy tickets.
There we go. So this week we have chosen Casper Wingard. So obviously you can follow him over on Instagram. It's instagram.com/Casper_Wingard and twitter.com is Casper Nova. What a title, Casper Nova.
Casper Nova, legend.
Exactly, look at that. So if you don't know about Casper Wingard is an award-winning comic artist from the UK. He has drawn for publishers Marvel, DC, Image, Boom, Valiant, IDW, 2000 AD, Dark Horse and Dynamite, working on titles such as Star Wars, Catwoman, Judge Dredd, Peter Cannon, Thunderbolt, and Ghost Rider. He is a co-creator of the critically acclaimed series Homesick Pilots for Image Comics. And then underneath, I've put 4 of his fantastic covers that we've got. We've got Homesick Pilots, we've got Limbo, we've got Rogues Gallery, and we've got the recent released Silver Coin 14. So as you can see, his artwork is pretty phenomenal. Some of the stuff he does is absolutely great. So Limbo issue number 1, this was written. So what I did notice about Caspar is that Caspar and Dan Waters have a pretty longevity of a partnership.
I think they
seems to be.
exclusively work with each other now, don't they?
I think so, yeah. And this goes back to like 2008 when some of the early stuff that they did. So obviously Limbo issue number 1 was written by Dan Waters, art by Caspar Wingard, and this was released in 2015. Don't really know much about this comic. Andy, is this one that you've read or?
It was actually whenever you had that last slide up, I didn't recognise it at all. I hadn't heard about it. But going by the cover, it looks like my jam, definitely.
It does. And I mean, obviously, we've got like a short synopsis up there. So if you guys want to check it out, give that a brief read, and you can kind of head over there. And it was pretty cheap. It's only $2.99.
Back in 2015, nonetheless, as well. And I'm reading here a new surreal neon noir series. A neon noir. That's a new one to me. So that if that doesn't sell it to you, nothing more.
50s pulp with an 80s VHS visual aesthetic.
Boom, sold. Take my money.
Boom. And it looks like there's a mummy holding a cassette tape there. So yeah, that one looks pretty good. But then we've got obviously the well-known Homesick Pilots issue number 1. This was the first of many, and this is absolutely sensational. Tom, I know you had this on Not Quite Mint, didn't you?
Mate, it's one of my favourite books. I absolutely love Homesick Pilots. It's one of those books where you pick up and you read the first issue and you think this is obviously just going to be a story about a band and the band member goes missing in a haunted house. It gets so much deeper than that. Like the house itself becomes the book about the book. So good, really, really, really good. Can't recommend it enough. I've got the first couple of issues actually in single, which I will be selling, but I luckily enough last year when we went to Thought Bubble, I got mine signed by Dan and Caspar, and I got a CBCS by Tim, and mine is the Megan Hutchinson cover, which is a rare one, which is obviously Donny Cates' wife. So yeah, amazing book. I mean, the main character, I've forgotten her name, but she's absolutely incredible as a character. Throughout her character development is insane. Really well.
Connie says, I read the first issue of Homesick Pilots, but I've never picked up the rest of it yet.
I'll do it.
It's great. And basically it says, in the summer of 1994, a haunted house walks across California. Inside is Amy, lead singer of high school punk band who's been missing for weeks. How did she get there? And what do these ghosts want? Expect 3-chord songs and a big bloody action. That's Power Rangers meets The Shining. Yes, really.
So good.
And this was released 2 years ago, 9th of December 2020.
It's still going.
And it's still going now. Yes, it is. So that's Homesick Pilots. Andy?
That would have been shortly after I started, or we started on doing this show.
Yeah,
I think
it wasn't long after I opened the shop. And I think I started doing this show with you guys probably the month after I started the shop, or 2 months after the shop.
Yeah.
We must look to see when our anniversary is, then we can
celebrate.
Yeah,
we can all wear hats, sing a song, and eat some cake.
Yay!
Sounds like Thought Bubble.
Happy anniversary to us.
So then we flip over from Image, we go to DC Black Label, we got Aquaman Andromeda issue number 2, written by the fantastic and friend of the show, Mr. Ram V, art by Christian Wald, and the cover art for the 1 in 25 cover C is obviously Caspar Wingard. This is released, it was released last month, August the 2nd. We reviewed the first issue of this. Have you read the second issue?
I have not. I am stacking it. Can I just say, not to put a downer on it, just to wish Ram V all the best, because
I was going to
seen
say
on Twitter
that, I didn't know
that his daddy had passed away.
Yeah.
So from everybody from the Killer Comics show, we wish you the very best and much love, Mr. Ram V.
Yeah, man.
But I've read issue number 2, and it is great. It's a totally out there DC Black Label version of Aquaman. It's enjoyable. It's something different. But this cover though, this is this Harley Quinn-esque vibes coming up, where he's grabbing his head and no, is it just
Everything's Harley Quinn, mate. Anything pink Harley Quinn.
I love
Anything
it.
Pink Harlequin.
I think it's just, it's got, like, if you look at all of Christian or Casper's covers, they've got that certain look and tone.
Yeah.
So like I think it's more about the color work rather than the line work for Casper a lot of the time. And I think this kind of epitomizes that, the use of the sort of pastel colors and shades and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's a great cover.
And Martin has just said that Aquaman cover is incredible. First time I've seen this one, absolute beauty. There we go. So then we go over to Cadescent. Cadescent? Is it? Yeah. Cadescent Comic Art. Cadence, that's the one. Cadence, there we go. So yeah, this is a site that various artists use to sell. I didn't know this until I put Casper's name into Google. So obviously this is over here, and some of his artwork on here is, I really want to buy it. And yeah, it's annoying because I spent like quite a few hours yesterday looking through it and looking at it thinking, oh, that's quite nice. This is awesome. This is awesome. So obviously this is some of the stuff he's done for the DC Universe Infinite. This is the promotional Joker image, size A4. It was done by pen and ink, and a price of £200 for that.
Nice.
I was literally just about to say, I wonder how much he would do a sketch at Thought Bubble for.
This is what I'm kind of getting at, because I think Thought Bubble this year, I'm not going to take loads and loads of comics to get signed. I kind of want to get some art pieces and some commissions.
Yeah, same.
So if this is kind of what the price range is looking at, I kind of need to start saving now.
Absolutely. I think what I'm going to do is take like a sketchbook with me, and rather than get an artist to do like an individual page on it, I want them to do like a Thought Bubble 2022 collab piece. And I plan to do that every Thought Bubble. So it's whether they do it or not, obviously. I think you have to jump in and get them early to book in some time. But yeah, Casper would definitely be on that list.
But
I mean, whether you want a full sketch or just like a doodle, because I'm sure they could do a couple of second doodle.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was looking for. Is just like a Thought Bubble 2022 doodle page from all the artists. I think that'd be cool.
That would look like this, and then obviously I kind of see this and was like, there we go. So obviously this is the DC Universe Infinite promotional Harley Quinn image. Again, this is actually a size A3, and this goes up in size. This is 350 quid, but I personally think it's worth it.
See, but these have all been printed as well, so they're all promotional pieces. So I would imagine that, and I don't take this as gospel, but I would imagine that if you ask him for a commission at Thought Bubble, that it wouldn't be that price. These are only that price because they've actually been in print material before.
Yeah.
You should be able to go on his Twitter or his Instagram and scroll back through for when he opened his commission list last year, and it'll give you an idea of what he charged.
Yeah, totally.
But Andy, Triple G has said he likes that idea. That's actually a really great idea. Like, that's what I'd get, like maybe an A3 sketchbook, nice paper, and just get them to do like doodles and stuff like that. That's a pretty good idea, I think.
I do have them.
No, that's great. That's wicked. And then obviously, so then we've got these two pieces, and then I found this. This is the Homesick Pilots band pin-up image, A3, £650.
Well worth it considering the fact that it's been printed and it's an original.
Yeah. This is amazing.
It's glorious.
This is
pretty
decent. No, it's my phone alarm, so I'm sorry, mate. And then Pete just said I paid between 200 to 350 for a comic cover commissions last year.
Was that each Peter, or was that in total?
That'd be interesting.
I'm expecting just the answer straight away, but
who was it? There was one artist that I found that was doing commissions for free, and he drew me the Transformer? He drew me the Transformer.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember his name.
Baz, I can't remember what his name was. It was Baz something, but he was just literally did that for free, and that was amazing what he did. It was really, really good what he did. I mean, if you do look around, I mean, we were there for 3 days, but if you do look around, you will find these hidden gems of artists that obviously aren't massively known to the public, but happy to just sketch. I mean, I was standing there and he didn't have to, he didn't want anything, but I ended up giving him a tenner anyway because I felt like so guilty. I was standing there watching work, but it was great. It was awesome. And like for anyone that's looking to go there, there's so many artists there that will spend time with you that are it's quite intimate. You can kind of speak to the artists, you can speak to the writers and stuff. But there's hidden gems there where someone will just sketch for you. And he was like, "What? Who do you want?" I was like, "Do me a Transformer."
Yeah. I think I can't remember. I think I get Judge Dredd, if I remember.
Do me a Transformer.
Yes. You did get Judge Dredd. And also I think you bought his daughter's comic as well.
I did. Yeah, I did. It was great. Yeah.
You did. But yes, so that is the Thought Bubble creator highlight for this week. And then I think have we got another jingle? Should we get into the jingle?
Hope so.
Tom, do you want to dangle your keys? Have you got some killer keys for us this week?
Maybe. Yo.
I love that. Bim, 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 bim. Bim, 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 bim. Oh, gets the blood flowing, mate. It does indeed. My Thor was 200. The Venom by the Nice House on the Lake was 350 graded. Sketches were much cheaper, 30 to 50. Walking Dead sketch was £10. And Triple G is also known as AKA Barclays Bank, just for if anyone wants to know. So,
Money bag.
Tom.
Yes.
Tom, over to you, you sexy man.
So this is the Not Quite Mint Killer Keys September 28th, which is next week's keys. This is my key that I think you guys should pick up, that I think is worth picking up. So this week I'm putting it out there, the Batman Beyond the White Knight, issue 5, written by Sean Murphy. Cover A is by Sean Murphy, but you can get cover B, which is by J. Scott Campbell, or you can get cover C, which is also by Sean Murphy, which gives away why it's a key, because it's the first appearance of the Murphyverse Bright. Bright is obviously a character that is from the Batman Beyond series. Dwayne Powers? Yeah, Dwayne Powers.
Derek
Powers becomes Blight. So this is his first appearance in the Murphyverse. So I think it's worth getting up, guys, because the Murphyverse looks like it might end up as an animated TV show with Sean Murphy at the helm. I have read that rumor. So hopefully if it does, these kind of keys might go up in value. So it could be worth getting for that.
That is awesome.
Is Blight not just Ghost Rider?
Basically, yes, but better. And he doesn't doing it for vengeance. Do it for money.
I'm all in for this. I'm all in for that cover, man. And I think in issue 3 or issue 4 of Curse of the White Knight, he did a similar cover, not J. Scott Campbell, but I think it was Sean Murphy did a similar cover where she's sitting on the railings of a staircase. So yeah, I'm all over that cover, man. I think anyone that knows me knows that I'm all over that cover as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be getting the J. Scott Campbell cover, mate. Anything with J. Scott Campbell's name on it, I've got it. Or getting it.
Do you reckon there'll be an exclusive on his website?
There will be 100%, mate. They'll do a virgin cover of this without any of the gubbins. It'll literally just be an art piece.
They'll change the red background for like a second print and stuff like that. They'll change the colour and stuff.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'll be surprised if J. Scott Campbell doesn't do the red and black version rather than the grey and black.
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah, I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm definitely. This has been on my pull list ever since the Murphyverse started. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this, and it's consistently good as well. Even that Red Hood time is pretty decent.
Yeah, I don't think the Murphyverse has missed a step really.
Oh, he's just touched on the thing. I need to see if Perillo is doing painted commissions. I can't wait to see Perillo and his beautiful wife Carla Cohen. If I'm being honest, really looking forward to that. Might have something lined up for that as well. Who knows? Watch your space. So yeah, Tom, where can we find you, mate?
So if you want to find me, I'm on Instagram under Not Quite Mint KC. or you can find my art page, which is The Art of Tom Main, also on Instagram. I am on Twitter, but I don't use it.
No, lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly, and it seems like we are swinging through now. Before we move on, should we have a look at the YouTube? Let's have a look. So, who's winning cover of the week? So, in third position, it is me with the Adam Hughes Harley cover. In second position, we have Tom with the Art Germ Harley cover. And in first position, we have the luscious Andy with the Francesco Mattina deceased cover with 49% of the votes. You still have time to place your votes now, so get going on that.
Place your bets.
Go on. Place your bets.
Place your bets now.
along with covering your ears, Connie, because this one's a banger.
Wow, that is loud. I had to turn my earphones down. This is Perpetual's Killer Indie pick for September 28th, which is, of course, next week's comics. And apparently I'm in control, so slide number 25. I have picked Boom Studios Briar issue number 1. This is written by Christopher Cantwell. Art is by German Garcia. And it will come in at roughly $4.99.
I'm sorry.
And
I'm all in.
Listen, this one is one that definitely caught my eye. I think it's definitely got a lot going for it, and it might be the next big Boom Studios hit. I'm not, don't take my word for it, but I just, I have a feeling that this is going to be a good one. So the synopsis reads: what if Sleeping Beauty never got her happily ever after, and instead had to save herself? Set in a brutal fantasy world that time forgot, this isn't the fairy tale you know. Eisner Award-nominated writer, producer, and director Christopher Cantwell. And just stop for a wee second. Eisner Award-nominated writer, producer, and director. So there's a reason why that this is happening. Don't worry, I saw last week's episode. Where was I before I was really interrupted?
220290.
So this is Briar issue number 1. I think this is going to be an absolute banger.
I'm all
Jenny
in for
Frison
this.
doing that cover as well.
I am all in for this. Obviously, Alice Ever After. Like speaking to my main man Dan. Alice Ever After. No, I know he didn't. But I'm speaking like Alice Ever After. I was speaking to my main Dan. I shared some messages. So we're kind of.
He just wanted to mention Dan, didn't you?
Yeah,
his mate Dan.
But again, this is kind of playing on characters from our youth, like Sleeping Beauty and like the Seven Dwarfs and stuff. This is going to be freaky. Like the Seven Dwarfs ain't going to be the cute little dwarfs that we're used to. I think this is going to be, again, this is going to be going into the adult realms of what would have happened. Do you know what I mean? And this looks great. This looks wicked.
Yeah, I would safely say that this might be the new Erica Slaughter for Boom Studios.
Bold.
Definitely. Mark has just said, just realised that Carla Cohen is going to Thought Bubble. Ever since you guys interviewed her, I've been dreaming about her. I've been collecting her stuff. Lots of signatures to get. Yes, indeed, Mark. Yes, indeed. And don't forget, you can wear your T-shirt as well. Your Killer Comics T-shirt, and also Connor, you can wear your Killer Comics T-shirt as well. And we can kind of have, we can grow the brand even more. There we go. I would 100%, I would 100% recommend a Carla Cohen commission. So much work put into them. Yeah, I reckon. If I'm being honest, you'd probably have to speak to her now for her to be able to do what Andy's done. If he's like you've reached out, haven't you, to various artists to collect your commissions there. It's probably a good idea to reach out to Carla Cohen. She's if her commissions are open, just reach out, speak to her, and then you can kind of save some time and pick it up at the show. Because I understand she would be probably busy with her and Lucio sitting side by side. So yeah, that would be my advice. But yeah,
nice.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Andy, where can we find you, sir?
You can find me on Instagram, perpetual.comics, and on Twitter at perpetual comics.
Lovely, jubbly. And we're going to the next one now. I still haven't got an intro for this, but I'm not bitter. Not at all. It's
Change the
Geeky's.
record.
It's Geeky's Killer Trade. It's September the 28th. And I have gone for. No, I haven't. What have I gone for? Oh, I've gone for, DC versus Vampires. Do you know what I've gone for? I've gone for DC versus Vampires. I haven't just changed the cover. I just haven't changed the cover. That's what I've done. Do you know, because I got so distracted that I didn't have an intro. Kind of put me off. But yeah, this is DC vs Vampires, volume number 1. This is the hardcover. It's 160 pages, $24.99. Written by James Tinian and written by James Tinian and Matthew Rosenberg, with the art by Otto Schmidt. This is available next weekend, and I'm loving the DC vs Vampires run at the moment. I'm really, really enjoying it. I don't know if you guys have been reading it, but this volume collects DC vs Vampires 1 and 6, which is the first half of this bloody battle. It's not Robin. Robin is in it as well, but this isn't it.
I was disappointed that Martina didn't do all the covers for it, because that was the reason why I jumped into it. But Nathan Zardy?
Yeah, Nathan Zardy. Yeah, he's doing.
He's done like the last 4, which have been absolutely stunning. So that's one of the ones that I've actually got on my pull list, and it's been really good.
But it's weird that Francesco Martina, because he's doing the Deceased as well, but he used to do the Deceased and Batman as well, and now it seems like he's just doing Deceased. But I thought it would have been good for him to continue doing DC vs Vampires, because his art lends itself so well to like the characters. I mean, like Lobo that I know now is Lobo, but yeah, his artwork. And I was collecting like the Batman cover A's and the Francesco Martina covers, and then they kind of stopped. So I've ended up with like cover A and like 6 or 7 other covers, because I said send me the cover A's and the variants as well. I'm not thinking that I was going to get sent 7 or 8 different covers for the same comic, which is why it cost me a small fortune. So yeah, but yes, go out and buy this DC vs Vampires volume number 1 hardcover, not Robin. And you can find me over on Instagram at Geeky Guy Comics _ and then Geeky Guy Comics on Twitter as well. What have we got now? We have the final order cutoff. #KillerPicks, October 27th. So, as always, who would like to explain what the FOC is? Andy, Tom?
Tom, do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it? I don't mind.
Go ahead, mate. You know it better than I do, to be fair.
The final order cutoff is when there is an opportunity for you to see all the comics that are the final opportunity to go to print, and for your LCS to order them up. So normally on the Friday they get released, and it's every single cover variant that's available over that weekend. And you have until, normally it's the Monday, but a lot of LCSs over here seem to do it on like the Sunday evening to get their orders in for Monday. So basically anything that you see here, it will be this Monday that it will be your deadline for contacting an LCS.
Awesome. You won't find.
I don't know why October 27th is there. I think October 27th is when these books are due out, rather than the deadline for FOC. So
that's what I've done wrong. That's why I was getting confused.
You did one job.
But no, yeah. So there we go. Yeah. So what I've done is I've put it when it's due out. So, but you need to. So, I'm going forward. You need to put the date that you need to get your FOC in for.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right, perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
So, i.e., this Monday.
This Monday. So, 8 Billion Genies, issue number 6. Charles Saul, Ryan Brown with an E. $3.99. This has been amazing. I've been quite annoyed at the fact that there's been so long between issues, but it has been good, and it is a continually good comic. It's we're now exploring the first 8 years after G-Day, the moment when everyone on Earth got a genie and one wish. Humanity has found new ways to live. Come with us to explore the secrets of Hope's Hollow, Tomorrowville, and the grooviest little town this side of Poughkeepsie Fun City. Are we still reading this, guys? I know I am. I'm well up to
I've
date
really enjoyed this one.
I haven't read a single issue.
Oh no.
Have you not? Did you not? Were you not with us when we reviewed the first one?
No. I'm saving it.
I'd suggest getting back in. I'd
I
suggest
thought you
reading
read
it.
the
It's
first
pretty
issue.
good. It's pretty good. But yeah, get on this. Order it on Monday, and you can pick it up, and you'll be safe to know that you will receive it on October 26th. So there we go. Bish bash bosh. The Killer Comic Show sneak peek for next week. These are the 4 comics that we have decided to pick. Andy, you went with Old Dog. Was that released ages ago, or did it get put back? I remember seeing
No,
it in
so
your indie pick.
yeah, so we had it. I think on I think I had it on FOC as part of that. So yeah, it was out last week, as far as I'm aware. Declan Shalvey is doing the writing on this one, and he's done a lot of work on social media to sort of promote this one. So
Yeah,
I wanted to give it a go and see what it was like.
looking forward to that. And then we've got Batman, One Bad Day, Two-Face. Obviously, they've done the Penguin, they've done the Riddler. We've got issue 4, Chip Zdarsky, Public Domain. Anyone reading that? Still?
Read the first one.
Yeah.
Haven't read
And
any of
then,
it.
obviously, we have the massive comic by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. We've got Vanish. So again, from tomorrow morning, you will be able to place your votes on YouTube community tab to find out which one of these comics we review next week. Up next, we get down to the business end, the Killer cover scoreboard. So in third place is myself with 16% with the Adam Hughes Harley cover. In second place, we have Tom with the Art Germ Harley cover, and running away with it this week is Andy with the Francesco Mattina Beast Lobo Smurfette fun comic cover that he had. Well done, Andrew.
Thank you. That's us tied.
That is tied. Tied to a chair, just like Thought Bubble.
I'd like to thank Francesco Mattina, Lobo, and Beast for that one.
What about Smurfette? No? Okay, fair enough. So, I just wanted to give another shout out to our friends at Digital, because last week when we did the show, I think 6 or 7 minutes into the show, they reached their target. They hit their goal. They reached their target. So I just wanted to give out another little final push for Digital Chapter 3 that is going hell for leather on Kickstarter. If you haven't picked up this comic yet, or you're not interested in this, head over to Kickstarter. Head over to the show that we've done last week. You can kind of get in-depth knowledge on where this comic's come from, what this comic's about, what they're looking to achieve. The guys have got so much planned. They're looking to do anthologies after like issues 10, 15, 20 and stuff. So it's really, they're in for the long haul. And they're a great bunch of lads. They've got some fantastic content. They've got some fantastic issues out already of issue number 1 and number 2. And they're not afraid to kill off key characters, as we found out at the end of issue number 2. But yeah, chapter number 3 is available over on Kickstarter. It's the Digital Chapter 3, Dead Kid on the Run, Lost in Space. As the crew try to come to grips with the ramifications of Easefall, new threats loom on Descartes from Earth. They have hit their target of £4,000. They are now going to 5,000, and I understand if they do get to 5,000, every single pledge that they receive will receive a digital 8-bit game card, I think it is, or like a playing card and stuff like that. So if you do get the chance, Andy's dropped the link in the chat, so head over there and check them out, because it's a pretty decent comic. I will give that. And we've got to look after the small stores, because the massive publications do not need any more of our money. Says me, who's got a massive pull list.
Here. I watched the rewind, which I would implore everybody to go and do so. Sorry I couldn't make the show, Charlie, but it was a fantastic listen. Those guys are totally clued in and are a fantastic representation of the comic that they do. So definitely make sure you go click on that link and make this an absolute winner. Get in.
Tom, have you read Digital number 1 and 2?
Yes, mate. We reviewed them.
Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah. So we've done so many shows. We have done so many shows. And then obviously just a bit of housekeeping. Instagram hashtag. Check us out on Killer Comic Show if you're not following already, and then over on Twitter, it's just Killer Comic Show, because they're funny over there and they don't let you put in a full sentence. So yeah, that's where we are. Another showdown. The Three Amigos is back. Looking forward to Thought Bubble very, very much so. Can't wait to spend the weekend with you, lovely gentlemen. And for anyone in the chat that wants to join us at Thought Bubble, do it. Buy a ticket. Do it. Come out drinking with us. Come out and have some comic chat with us. It's fun.
But mostly
Anything
drinking.
But mostly drinking and comic fun.
Indeed.
And don't leave your phone alone with Tim and Tom, because you end up finding videos.
So it's the only weekend where social media is banned, and for good reason.
Yeah.
Just no social media.
For very good reason. But yeah, no, it's a great, honestly, as Andy said earlier, it's one of, if not the best comic conventions in the UK. So why wouldn't you want to be a part of it? And we look forward to hopefully seeing you. And talking about hopefully seeing you, we shall see you next week. Have I missed anything, guys? I don't think I've.
Don't think so. Oh yes, remember tomorrow, Hobgoblin Hideaways Vaults
8 p.m.
show. The link was posted earlier on, so make sure that you go and give those guys a follow and show some support.
And Tom, I swear there's always something that you say. I can never say it right, and I'd never attempt to. But what is it?
Stay safe, stay sexy.
So that, guys, see you next Thursday, 9 p.m.
See ya.
See ya.